Kia ora, I'm Sherry Grant, a Taiwan-born New Zealand pianist, cellist, poet, and festival organizer. Today is the 1st of January 2026 in New Zealand, and for episode 5 of Finding Scriabin interview series, I've invited pianist Anna Fau. American-Argentine pianist Anna Fau is a dedicated teacher and touring concert artist. She is a graduate of the Eastman School of Music in America and the legendary St. Petersburg State Conservatory in Russia. Her students have won first prizes at competitions and full scholarships at universities. Anna has performed at many music festivals and gone on concert tours around Europe, America, and South America. As a pianist in residence at the WFMT 98.7 FM classical radio station of Chicago, she held her own recording, solo, and chamber music works by Spanish, Latin American composers as well as standard repertoire. As an educator, Anna has taught at Merritt School of Music of Chicago and the Wisconsin Conservatory of Music in Milwaukee. She is the founder of the Rachmaninoff Music Academy of Buenos Aires, Argentina, where she trains other teachers and pianists. Happy New Year, Anna. Thanks for spending your time, New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year
doing this.
to you. Here we are still in 2025.
Yeah.
Short, like just a few minutes before New Year.
About half an hour, right?
Yeah, it's 4 minutes.
Yeah, we're oh yeah. And we're already in the new year. We're a bit ahead of you.
Craziness.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you start playing the piano, and what made you decide to pursue your music studies in Russia? Can you share some stories, like from your days in St. Petersburg?
Yes. Well, my dad was a pianist of Polish origin. He was the first generation of Polish Jewish emigres to Argentina that escaped in 1939 from the Holocaust. So I grew up listening to Chopin a lot, of Chopin mostly. So long story short, at some point when my family decides to emigrate to the US and I audition to several schools, I get accepted at Eastman, and in the year 94, shortly after the fall of the wall, we were the second group of pianists invited to Moscow for a 3-week summer masterclass workshop. And I just fell in love with the country. I felt like I belonged there, or that I was there in a past life or something, but something about Russia just hit me. I felt like I went back home, which is a very strange feeling for an Argentinian person. But observing the level of piano performance and professionalism and breathing that level of high culture, I called my mother to Chicago and I said, I'm not coming back. I'm staying in Russia. And my mother was like, Anna, calm down. Just come back to the US and we'll talk about it. She was like, calm down. Because, I had my apartment at Eastman in the city of Rochester. I'm like, I don't care about it. I was 21 years old. When you're 21, you don't care about your lease and your contract.
So how long did you actually stay there for in Russia?
Well, my first trip was 3 weeks. Then I came back. I mean, we had a limited visa anyway. So I came back, I packed everything else, applied for a student visa, and I had to go back and do the examinations, the auditions. And then I think it was a couple months later that I went back to Russia and auditioned in Moscow. And that's how the adventure started.
Yeah, so the St. Petersburg Conservatory, that's where Scriabin also studied. So was there much like a presence of him still in the conservatory? And all the great pianists of his time?
Well, let me tell you, my first time listening to Scriabin music was ironically, now that I remember, it was in this first trip in Moscow. We went to Golden Visor's flat, which was the founder of the Child Prodigies School that is at the pre-conservatory level in Moscow. And, you know, people like Scriabin frequented that house. One of the guys in our group was an American pianist, Tony Bonamici, a colleague of mine. I heard him play Scriabin first time in my life.
Mm.
And I was like, who's that? you know? And he was really cool with Scriabin, he really got it. And I mean, funny that I heard from an American pianist, but I was, you know, my attention got really caught there. And then we went to observe a concert at Scriabin's home museum with a red piano that said Red October in gold. And I heard a whole Tchaikovsky recital. But then I'm like, who's this Scriabin? This guy with a red piano. I don't know if the piano was from his times or if it was later. It's kind of hot in Argentina now, so I'm wearing some ice. It's 39 Celsius. It's a little insane.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Scriabin for me was discovering a new planet. You know, planet Scriabin.
Yeah. His own world, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely. His own colors, you know.
Yeah. So you're a dedicated concert pianist and educator, and you have such a busy schedule traveling around the world. Well, I'm sure it's very rewarding. I do that too all the time, but there must be some challenges sometimes. You founded and run the Rachmaninoff Music Academy in Argentina. Can you share a bit of that with us?
Yeah. If you want to know a list of challenges, the list is way too long, but I'm gonna pick one funny story. I remember buying our Bechstein half grand, and it was on a ninth floor in downtown Buenos Aires, and I had to take it down to bring it to the school. I was like trying to get an insurance company to insure the moving and taking the piano down because it was so big it wouldn't turn through the stairways, it wouldn't fit in the elevator. So they decided to bring it down from the balconies.
Mm.
So they said, okay, Friday 9 a.m. we are going to bring it down 9 floors down to the ground. So I come in with my coffee 8:45. I look up, I look down, and I see that, you know, we had these cones, fluorescent cones, so that people wouldn't walk under the piano coming down. And they wouldn't notice it was so early that people were just walking out like, there is a piano coming down.
Oh, that's very scary.
I should have taken a picture of the expression of their faces when the piano was coming down like this. I have photos on Facebook of the piano, actual piano coming down.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, a high point.
I also have a funny piano story to share when I was in
Life.
Argentina. So I played two concerts last, well, it would have been 2 years ago now, since it's 2026. So I was on my concert tour, and I was playing at Castle Forte. Yeah, actually exactly on the 150th year anniversary of the museum. And there wasn't a piano there, and so we had to hire one. And the piano came at the back of a ute, like a van. And then I was like, okay. And then they cover it up. And then they were just like turning it down like that, tip it on the side. And then it's got very fragile little legs because it was just an upright. I was like, wow, so scary how they did it. I took a video of it too. So like, okay, you don't see it anywhere else. It's just like, okay, just another piece of furniture. Yeah, so yeah, what was it like working as a pianist in the residence at the WFMT in Chicago? I've got a friend who actually is a presenter there.
Really?
from New Zealand, Robbie, his name. And I understand you're quite an organizer of events too. You get to play
Yeah. Well,
everywhere,
my
and you
experience
organize.
at WFMT was
Mm-hmm.
really the highlight of my stay in the US.
Yeah.
I think that was worth just moving there. um, working with at the most amazing Stanway grant with top of the art microphones and top of the art sound engineers. The sound engineer I like to work with was Hudson Fair, who has a Grammy Award as like the best sound engineer for classical music. It was quite an honor. I learned a lot about recording how to mic classical piano, which is so
Mm.
different from miking jazz.
Right.
Most technicians have no idea how to record with a piano. They put the mics inside and it sounds like on your face and metallic.
Mm.
So by observing how they work, now I know exactly what to do with the microphones, and it takes a 40-minute explain speech for them to believe me, but here you have to always convince people that you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be very valuable experience to bring back to Argentina, right? Mm.
Yeah, yeah. But I learned a lot about sound engineering, and
Mm-hmm.
it was stressful because a lot of it was live recording, and your live recording, people are in their cars rush hour, and what's recorded stays forever.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a lot of wonderful repertoire. I did chamber music by Joaquin Turina, Alberto Ginastera, and these were US premieres on the air. I was the
Wow.
first one to record them on the air. And after
Was
that,
it
the album
live
was
when you
published.
were doing the recording, or did you have to
Como?
perform live, or was
Yeah,
it? Oh,
it
okay.
was live. Absolutely.
How long were
So
you doing this? Yeah. How long did you do this for?
for like 3.5 years.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Was it like a weekly show or something?
Yeah, we had a weekly show on Latin American. All of the sudden, overnight after I organized the Latino Symphonic Festival, I became the
Mm-hmm.
expert on Latin American music. Although I never really played much except for some pieces by Ginastera, but at that point I did more Russian and French music. But
Mm-hmm.
they're like, okay, we'll let you be the expert on Latin American music and have your own show. I'm like, sure.
Yeah. We just learn
Because
on the job.
yeah, they put a stamp on you
Uh-huh.
and you're the new expert. So I had to do a lot of research and
Mm-hmm.
learn new repertoire. It was a fantastic experience. I mean, I would call colleagues and say, I have a recording in 2 weeks. Do you want to do the Ginastera Pampiana or the Turina Piano Trio or Piano Quartet? We have 20 days. Okay, and these crazy people, mostly from Northwestern University, would say, fine, everybody wanted to play at the radio. I have some of those recordings actually on my website. It was a wonderful experience. Yeah, radio
Yeah.
is so special. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But what's the music scene like in Buenos Aires?
It's very diverse. Yeah, this is the tango capital of the world. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, that is what we are known for. But we have a very strong tradition in opera. We have great opera singers for export and ballet superstars that have been first dancers at New York Ballet and Royal London Ballet. In classical music, we had more of a Italian-oriented school of piano, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a fan of. Clearly, I want to leave to Russia. So I came back with the idea of raising the level of piano performance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and well, the good thing is that I'm able to organize concerts of different, let's say, time eras, and
Mm-hmm.
that's going well. I am fortunate that we have some, not many, but some Russian musicians emigrating to Argentina right now. So I get to do chamber music with great people, which is
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, just remember like the Marta Argerich or originally was from Argentina as well.
Yeah,
So,
Walter Argerich, Daniel Barenboim,
uh-huh.
there are
Yeah.
many. Um, but the thing is that the tradition here
Mm-hmm.
is not that strong. I mean, they were mostly trained in Europe.
Uh-huh.
So my purpose is to establish a Russian school of piano here that would take root, so that people wouldn't have to go to another country to
Yeah.
complete their education.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish that my colleagues would come back and help instead of staying over there.
Yeah. Well,
But
you.
my mission is
Mm-hmm.
educating
Yeah.
mostly.
Yeah. Yeah. So with your specialty in the 20th century music, Russian, French, and Hispano-American composers, you've been like labeled the expert. Do you have some advice for students and teachers learning these repertoire or teaching?
Well, I would say that, aside from getting a great technique, which is the key to the paradise of classical music, because without a good technique, it's difficult to really communicate what you want to say musically. I think that a huge advantage and a good way to get people to open their mind musically is to really bring them to concerts. Like we take our students to the Cologne Theater, which is our main opera house. We were lucky that they invited all our school to go for free to the concerts and the rehearsals, and to see what ballet and opera, because when students have that visual and auditory information, you save years of explaining what you mean when you are like, I want a perlé touch, I want a flute touch in your Mozart sonata. They have to have the flute in their brain. They have to understand uh, the instruments of the orchestra, the form that you observe when the curtain comes down with the tutti is something that needs to be experienced
Hmm.
more than explained.
Yeah.
So I would suggest to my colleagues, take your students to concerts. The parents won't do it. Most people, most families are too busy unless they are a family of artists or musicians to go to the concert. So I took it as part of my mission as an educator
Mm-hmm.
to give the complete family some cultural education. Sometimes the parents have no clue, and then they come to the theater and they're like, "Oh my God, I never heard a whole symphony."
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of educating them.
Yeah. So what's the general like a musical education like in Argentina, like in general at schools? Or is there not very much of it? Not so
Well,
much classical. Uh-huh.
when I grew up, we had a wonderful choir program.
Uh-huh.
The choir program here is pretty strong. There are a lot of choirs from amateurs to professionals. Um, and I think that made a difference. It's very typical of South American countries to have a strong choir formation. For everything else, people go for private lessons or they go to the state conservatory.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But in normal schools there is not a lot of like a music like a program in there.
Yeah,
I
there is. We have a
there's
music
uh-huh.
subjects in every school.
Okay.
Of course, we have schools with different specialties. There are schools
Mm-hmm.
that are inclined towards humanities
Yeah.
and will have music and languages,
Uh-huh.
and there are schools that are more technical
Right.
and are oriented to more technical professions. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not one program for everyone.
Yeah.
There are different ones. We also
Mm-hmm.
have artistic high schools
Uh-huh.
where they have half the day's music lessons and the other half is regular subjects with useless things like math.
Yeah,
I never used math in my life except for counterpoint and harmony.
I
Sorry,
spent a
what did
few
you say?
days in Argentina. It was yeah, it's really lovely, like a country and the city center. It felt really cultural, but I heard that the economic situation is not so good politically. Also, yeah,
It is getting much
needs
better.
work.
I came
Mhm.
back after 3 months of being abroad and I was surprised to find the same prices that I saw when I left.
Mhm.
So inflation was really controlled this time.
Okay, that's good to know.
We have a good administration. They're putting order.
Yeah.
So with a lot of resistance, you know.
Yeah, I still have a stack of Argentinian money, so I have to go back and spend it
Well,
sometime.
let's see how
Not that
much
I
it
can
is
buy
now.
very much. There's a big stack, but I don't think it's worth very much.
But one thing I would like to mention is that we had such a huge European immigration in the beginning of the
Hmm.
20th century that it really influenced our education system, um, and the arts and the architecture.
Hmm.
I mean, you walk through
Oh,
Buenos Aires
yes.
and it's hugely French. You probably
Uh-huh.
observed that in certain areas. And well, there was an infatuation with everything French early 20th century, and it shows in all the palaces and all the
Hmm.
flats. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been trying to build a global piano family in the name of my favorite composer, Alexander Scriabin. Can you tell us about the future of the Scriabin Society in Latin America, which does not exist yet, but I mean, we're hoping maybe it will start from Argentina.
Well, yes, it is starting here. Last year, we did a joint concert with my Russian colleagues, and we performed Chopin and Scriabin. I did the Scriabin part; they all did the Chopin part. I did some
Mhm.
Chopin too. And this year, this coming new year, we are going to do more Scriabin and Rachmaninoff.
Mm.
I'm convincing my colleagues to do, a marathon of Russian music with Scriabin, Rachmaninoff, Tchaikovsky, and then everyone is going to choose their program.
Mhm.
So I think it's gonna work. And one of my advanced students have been playing Scriabin for at least 2, 3 years. So
Yeah. Would you
um,
consider other composers like Mettner and well, there's a list of other ones that yeah.
Mendelssohn is very interesting to
Mm.
me. Well, Sostakovich, we have some music coming up with Sostakovich.
Mm-hmm.
The three pieces for solo piano, I think, is Opus 5. Uh, there are some pieces for two violin and piano that we are also programming.
Yeah, I like Moskovsky as well. Mm.
You do? Well, I was actually asked to give a master class on Russian etudes.
Mm.
So I will have to review them.
Mm-hmm.
um, but there are some interesting composers to explore for sure. Even Kapustin has really interesting piano concerti that most people are not familiar with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Must be coming up to very close to midnight for you and the new year. Thank you, Anna, for taking the time to speak with me tonight. And
Okay,
I
thank you.
wish you all the best, successful 2026 ahead. Do you have any like upcoming concert plans, playing Scriabin's music, apart from the ones with your Russian colleagues?
Well, I am going to play in the US next year around October, definitely the Chicago area, and most likely in the Tampa area. So
Hmm.
I'll be letting you know.
Yeah, maybe come to New
And
Zealand.
oh, why not?
We should
It's just
collaborate. We should meet in person. Yeah.
yeah, and it's in the South Hemisphere, so
We were talking
that
about
is
the
interesting.
Scriabin wine, so we should make that happen as well. That would
That's
be
another
very
idea. We
cool.
have
And
so many
maybe,
ideas. We'll see which one we can
mm-hmm,
actually
mm-hmm. Yeah,
work
it
for.
takes time, but I think we can do it together.
Yeah, very good. We should.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mhm.